Actually, I'm having some kind of technical difficulties here.
Why do I have a feeling it's his first day?
Alright.
Okay, so it's actual people who are going to look at it?
Yes. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, are these people that I can speak to, or is it just going to like go off into the abyss and get denied again? Rest assured, I'm here to help you. No, you're not. Liar. So it has been about 14 months since I have spoken to anybody at eBay. And if I'm being honest, I really haven't listed anything on eBay for at least a month or more. I do still get a few sales every single week just from residual items that have been posted to eBay for a really long time, but I'm gonna call eBay today. And I'm gonna call them with you guys because I wanna see if anything has changed over the last 14 months. I wanna see if I can get a negative feedback removed because the buyer did not contact me and let me know that there was an issue with the product. They never requested a return. I just simply got a negative feedback. So it was this item right here. I sold it. The photos are of the actual item. They are not stock photos. The photos that I took were the actual item that the customer received. They said that there were buttons missing or something. I don't know. They were brand new in the original package, but they left me this negative feedback anyway. Now, I did start the proper steps to have the negative feedback removed, and that was by going through the automated process. So I did that yesterday, and surprise, surprise, eBay denied the feedback removal request. eBay said, "Our decision, we reviewed the feedback and can see that the buyer found an issue with the item that wasn't described in the listing. For that reason, the feedback was not removed. Just so you know, this feedback will not impact your seller performance." Well, no, it doesn't impact my seller performance, but it knocked me down to 98.4% positive feedback, which I don't like. So I'm going to call eBay and I'm going to see if I can have it removed. And I'm gonna bring you guys along with me so you can see what that entire process was like. We're going to see if eBay did in fact change their ways regarding the negative feedback removals, because if you remember a little while ago, like a year and a half or more, they kind of tightened up on their feedback removal policies. Well, supposedly they loosened it up again. But I haven't had an opportunity to see if that's true, but we're gonna find out today.
Thanks for calling eBay. Just a heads up. We might record and listen to this call and use artificial intelligence tools to help us enhance our customer service. Let's pull up your information.
Okay,
What?
3-6. Really?
I still didn't get that.
Of course not.
You can also use your phone. Let's find your account. What's the zip code on your account? In a few words, let me know how I can help.
Feedback removal request.
I understand you have a question about feedback removal revision. I can send you a link to more information on our site. There, you can also chat with our automated assistant or contact an agent. I can send you a text message or an email. Which would you prefer?
No.
Got it. How else can I help you? To hear the previous message, say repeat.
Representative.
I didn't get that. Let me know if you... Sorry, it's currently outside of our normal business hours.
What?
For additional help on this topic, we recommend visiting our online help pages at ebay.com/help. Once again, that is ebay.com/help. Thanks for calling eBay. Goodbye.
Horseshit. It is not outside of normal operating hours. It is 11:55 in the morning.
What's the phone number on your account? Let's find your account. What's the zip code on your account? Thanks. In a few words, let me know how I can help.
Representative.
To get you to the right place, first let me know what you're calling about. In a few words, let me know how I can help.
Representative appeal.
I understand you have a question about payment disputes. I can send you a link to more information on our site. There, you can also chat with our automated assistant or contact an agent. I can send you a text message or an email. Which would you prefer?
No. I want a representative.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. You can say no or agent.
Agent.
An eBay teammate will be with you soon.
Yay! Woohoo! I cracked the code.
Hi, thank you for contacting eBay customer service. My name is Ian, and to maintain the security of your account, may I ask for a first and last name?
Lindy Glenn.
Thank you for that, Lindy. What can I solve for today?
So I had received a negative feedback, and the buyer had never contacted me with an issue. They received the exact item that was photographed in the listing, and they never contacted me. They just gave me a negative feedback saying something about buttons. And I had submitted a negative feedback removal request, and it was denied. So I was calling to see if there's anything we can do about that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for letting me know about this, Linda. Let me take a look here. Just to make sure I understand correctly, you're calling in because you had a buyer put a negative feedback on your end, and you requested it to our help and contact already, but it was denied. So you're contacting us to check if we could send a new request here on our end, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I was hoping that a live person can look at it, and because I suspect that it's AI or something that does the removal request that I submit online. But I didn't know because they never contacted me with a problem, and they received the exact item that was photographed. So I don't think I deserve a negative feedback for that. At the very least, they should have contacted me with a problem, and they didn't.
Mm-hmm. I understand, Lindy, and thanks for letting us know about this. And no worries, since you got me on the line, I'll be more than happy to assist you on this one and provide you the options that we could have here so that we could remove the feedback on your account. Okay.
Okay.
So let me take a look here on our options. Can you provide me the order number so that I can pull up here on my end? And let me pull up the account here so that I'll be able to also check on my end. Just one moment.
Okay.
It's for the blind dog harness, correct?
Correct.
Thank you for confirming. Just one moment. Let me check here. Let me see here the feedback. Just one moment.
Okay.
So actually, just to inform you, Lindy, if we proceed with the processing this feedback removal, actually it will be sent to the same department that processed the feedback removal on the when you contact or when you use our help and contact. So they're the same department that processed the feedback removal here and not just the system.
Okay, so it's actual people who are going to look at it?
Yes, yes, that is correct.
Okay, are these people that I can speak to, or is it just going to like go off into the abyss and get denied again?
Yeah, actually, the specialized department is just an offline department that are doing or sending you an email, just like the one that you received on your feedback removal request.
So what happened to the days when you could actually talk to somebody? Because I've been on eBay 20 years now, and it used to be I could actually speak to somebody in that department and, kind of talk them through the situation and have them look at it and make a determination in real time whether or not the feedback should stand or be removed. Is that just not a thing anymore?
Actually, for this one, let me check the feedback here, so that we could determine here if it's actually if we could able to remove it so that we could send it to our specialized department so that they could remove it. Just one moment. Let me check.
Okay.
And It seems that I'm having some technical issues here since it's there are some issues here for my system. Just one moment.
Okay.
I'm still checking. Thank you.
I think they were just about ready to kick me off the phone until I started talking about speaking to a real person. I have it muted though, so that they can't hear me. I have no idea if I'm on hold.
Hey, Lindy, just one moment, okay? I'm still having some technical issues here, but nothing to worry. I'm still checking.
Okay.
If we could provide it to the specialist department to be able to remove this, okay? Just one moment.
Okay, thank you. How
You're
convenient.
welcome. So yeah, let me check.
How convenient he's having technical difficulties
Since
when
the
I want to talk to a
feedback, I was able
specialist.
to see the feedback that they indicating here. It is, they said that there are missing buttons on the item and the item is damaged. So yeah, let me check our policy here. Let me check. I'm still checking here, Lindy. Just one moment.
Okay.
Thank you. Um, while I'm checking, Lindy, would it be fine if I place this call on hold for like 1 to 2 minutes only so that I can further check?
Okay.
Thank you. Just one moment.
Think after all these years they'd have different hold music. But yeah, they were just gonna kick it to the same department as they were before. Like, I want to speak to a real person that will look at it and talk to me and potentially remove it. Take care of your sellers, eBay. This is exactly why I have completely stopped selling on eBay full time, because eBay doesn't take care of its sellers anymore. Like, I'm sorry. I don't think I deserved a negative feedback. They said that the item was missing a button or something. I sent them the exact item that was photographed. It was brand new in the package. They never contacted me. They never requested a return. They never messaged me and said that there was a problem. I assumed everything was fine. And then 2 months after they've bought it, they leave me a negative feedback. 2 months. They waited 2 months to leave me feedback. I want a real person to look at this. And I don't know if it's going to happen.
Hey, Lindy, thank you for patiently waiting.
Yes.
So yeah, I was able to further check here if we could remove this negative comment on the account or on your account. However, yeah, it says that we're unable to also remove this as the buyer is claiming there is an issue on the item, and that's the reason why we are unable to remove this kind of negative feedback on the account. But the thing here, what we recommend you to do is to report the buyer, since you mentioned that earlier that it was not actually true that the one that they're saying that it's not as described. So what we're going to do here is to for you to report the buyer so that our specialized team, our trust and safety team, will take a look on the buyer's activity so that we could further check. Actually, this is not a so that we could further investigate on their activity and might provide some what you call this this is not a guarantee that they will remove, but if some cases that the specialized team were able to determine that they are doing this on the other sellers also, then that's the time that we can take action on this kind of buyer.
Okay, so the only way that you guys might remove the feedback is if I report the buyer, and if they've had enough sellers report the buyer, then that would get it removed.
Yes, that is correct.
But if I'm the only seller who has reported this buyer, then there's literally nothing that's going to be done.
Actually, this negative feedback, you can comment to this one so that the one that will be or the buyers that will see this comment will be able to see your comment also, that this is not true as they are describing for this transaction. But yeah, and so that the buyers that will buy this item will be able to see that 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 this buyer might just claiming something and just wanted to get more of this order. So yeah, you can just reply to the buyer's feedback. Doing so is a great way to show others shoppers how you handle this kind of issues.
Right, but that doesn't, responding to a negative feedback doesn't give me back my 100% feedback score. And I feel like that's what customers look at. They see your seller name, and then they see 100%, or they see less than 100%. I don't really think a lot of buyers go in and look to see exactly what the negative feedback say. I feel like if it doesn't say 100%, then they're just going to kind of like discount you. That's why, that's important to me. That's why I'm calling to say, if this buyer would have given me an opportunity to make it right and avoid this negative feedback, I would have done that. I mean, if you look at all of the feedback surrounding that negative, there's literally one right underneath it that says that my items are exactly as described, and people are calling me a good seller. And right in the middle of all of this is this big fat negative feedback where somebody is telling me that there was a problem with the item, yet they never contacted me and they never requested a return. So it's a huge blemish on my reputation, which is why I'm trying to get someone to look at it and consider removing it. Whatever happened to the courtesy feedback removals that you guys used to do? Like I remember there was a time where if you were a top rated seller, that they would give you courtesy feedback removals, like, I don't know, 2 a year, 3 a year. And whatever happened to that?
Yeah, actually, let me check here, Lindy. Since yeah, actually, this negative feedback doesn't impact your seller performance at all. So,
Right. It doesn't
it,
affect my performance, but it affects my feedback score. I know that negative feedbacks don't affect seller performance, but I know that they affect your percentage.
mhm.
So in a way, that does have a negative effect on me. Otherwise, why would customers have the ability to leave a negative feedback if they didn't want to negatively affect the seller? That's kind of why I'm hitting on this so hard, because I don't want to have less than 100%, because I have all of this other feedback telling me that my items are exactly as described and items arrived packaged very, very well, and and then this customer that never even bothered to reach out to me, they're saying that the item wasn't as described and it was damaged, which is not accurate. And I can't even get a courtesy removal for that alone, being a seller for 20 years.
I understand that, Lindy. So yeah, here's what we're going to do. I need to, since you already reached out to our help and contact, I need to file this to our specialized department and see if we could remove that, and for courtesy to courtesy feedback removal, so that it will not or will not count on your account. So yeah, let me process this here also on my end. So yeah, just one moment. Let me check and fill out this information that was needed here. Just one moment.
Okay.
Before. So yeah. Let me check here. Since actually this one now is going to be processed by our specialized department for them to remove this negative feedback. Okay, and it will take within 3 to 5 business days for them to resolve this, but the usual time is within 24 to 48 hours. So yeah, let me put all the information here. Just one moment.
Okay.
So that I can send it to them, and you will so that you could see. You will be updated on your email once where they were able to remove this. Okay.
Okay. So okay.
Item number. All right. Just one moment. Lindy, actually, I'm having some kind of technical difficulties here before while I'm trying to fill out this information so that I can send it to your department. Just one moment.
Okay.
I'm still loading here now.
Why do I have a feeling it's his first day?
Alright, so yeah, let me send this now to our specialized department, Lindy, and yeah, you will receive an email update within 24 to 48 hours for this, okay?
Okay,
And,
so they should email me within 24 to 48 hours, you said?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
For the update to your mobile.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, thanks for contacting eBay customer service, and I hope you have a great day, okay? Bye-bye for now.
Thank you. So I am unable to determine whether or not this email is going to be a confirmation of them removing it or telling me whether or not they can remove it. It sounded like he was talking about emailing the exact same department that he said he was going to email 20 minutes ago. And he's just making me sound like, or he's just making it sound like it's something different to get me off the phone. I don't know. I genuinely did not want to have to pull the 20-year card. I really didn't want to have to because I feel like time on the site kind of holds a little bit of weight. And if you can tell someone, hey, I've been an eBay seller for 20 years, give me a freaking courtesy removal. Like, I didn't want to have to pull that card, but I did. I didn't want to have to pull the YouTube card, and I didn't have to. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But unfortunately, I think that if it comes back as denied in 24 to 48 hours, I don't think they're going to do anything. Unless I have a supervisor that I can contact, I might try to call back and see if I can get it removed. But realistically, I mean, I'm not even a full-time eBay seller anymore. I'm like barely part-time eBay seller at this current juncture. So I don't know if I really want to take time out of my life to fight it that hard. Because eBay buyers are going to do what they do, and they're going to leave negative feedbacks, and just, if you're an eBay seller, you know what I'm talking about. eBay buyers can be a different kind of breed. Of course, I am not going to leave you guys hanging. I will let you know the outcome right now. So, surprise, surprise, eBay actually got back with me. They did get back with me in their allotted time, so bravo for that. However, I don't like what they said. They gave me a little bit of a bait and switch kind of situation in this email. So this is the email that they sent me. Hello, Lindy. Thank you for contacting eBay customer service. I understand that you want the negative feedback to be removed from your account. Rest assured, I'm here to help you. No, you're not. Liar. I was able to check the details here on my end. I can see that the feedback was recently left at the transaction in which we can still have it removed. So they can remove it if they want to, but now for us to check if the feedback is removable, we suggest first resolving the buyer's concern. The reason why we are suggesting this as a resolution is because this would affect your selling performance positively. If this is part of your resolution on your future transactions, there's a high possibility that your negative feedback will be lessened. That little comment right there pisses me off because it's making it sound like this is a regular thing. This is not a regular thing, that my negative feedbacks will be lessened in the future. This is not so common. This happens all the time. And this is basically just telling me you should reach out to your customers because then maybe you won't get negative feedbacks. That's how I take it. I take it as if you don't reach out to your customers, you're going to get more negative feedbacks. How about the customers contact me if there's a problem? I shouldn't have to reach out to every single customer to ask if everything's okay. Here are the resolution that you can offer. Send a replacement. Accept return, let the buyer return the item to you for a full refund, or give a partial refund. Issue the buyer a partial refund without requiring them to return the item back to you. Just to set an expectation on your future transactions, always remember how the customer feels about the transaction will always determine the feedback that you receive. That's insulting. That's really insulting. I am very much aware of how feedback works. I've been an eBay seller for 20 years. I am well aware that the feedback that's left for sellers is supposed to be reflective of how the customer feels about the transaction. How am I supposed to know there's a problem unless the customer reaches out to me? That does not reflect poorly on me as a seller. It reflects poorly on the buyer for just simply giving me a negative feedback without giving me the chance to make it right first. Continuous communication with your buyer will definitely make them feel the importance of their business with you. To learn more about feedback policy, here's a link, blah, blah, blah. As a reminder, feedback is an opportunity for members to understand their customer and make changes if appropriate. Potential customers will look at overall feedback received, and as soon as we all tell ourselves we did everything right, that is when our competition passes us by. Learn from this transaction, and it will help you stay competitive with other sellers. Best regards. That right there is like a big F you to me, because they told me at the beginning of the email that it was within the window of having it removed, but then the entire rest of the email was telling me they will not have it removed. And there at the end, it basically tells me that I should use this as a learning opportunity. I'm just going to leave that alone. Now, I'm sure you are all curious. Am I going to reach out to the customer? No, I am not. I am not. They bought this item more than 2 months ago. They waited 2 months to leave negative feedback, and they did not reach out to me for anything. Even if I did offer to let them return it, I know damn well it would be in used condition. I wouldn't be able to sell it again. Do I want to give them a partial refund? No, because I will feel like I was extorted. It's not, what am I going to do? Message them back and say, hey, if you revise your feedback, then I'll give you a partial refund, or I'll give you all of your money back. That's like extortion. I thought that eBay was against extortion. I didn't think that eBay allowed buyers to extort their sellers. I thought that was against policy, but they basically just told me to give the buyer back their money and ask them for a revision request, and I'm not going to do that. So I guess, at least for the next year, I'm just not going to have 100% feedback anymore, because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You might think I'm wrong. Let me know down in the comments. What would you do? What would you do? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like videos like this, remember to hit the thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. Ring that notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post my next video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.